Hi, this is Carl the Cobra Frutch, and you're watching Lights Out.
This is Faisal Khan for Lights Out, proudly sponsored by Spartans Law. We're here at Bournemouth Beach ahead of this Saturday night's huge show at the Vitality Stadium, and featuring on the undercard will be my guest right now, Isaac Chamberlain. Isaac, good afternoon. How you doing, brother?
Yeah, I'm very good, man. You know, it feels good to be. Do you want to be forward?
No, it's fine.
Good to be here. Good to just taking the support of the whole crowd and everyone, and yeah, it was amazing.
I mean, you know, a couple of weeks ago, really looking forward to this show, and one of the reasons why was because of the supposed fight we were supposed to have between yourself and Mikael Lawal for the British Cruiserweight title, and obviously that fight's not happened, and it's obviously there's a lot of difficult circumstances right now. I don't want to go too much into the whole injury, but just want to get how you're feeling. And have you seen any proof in regards to that injury, Isaac?
Bro, he's lying. He's lying. He said he had a toothache or something along those lines that can be dealt with in a day and take some antibiotics, and then for 3 days you're back in the gym. Come on, like. And it's funny because of all the stuff that he was saying, all the stuff that he was talking about, you know, you're not a bad man, I'll beat you up, I'll smoke you, all of this rubbish. He's saying how much it will be a great fight, me and him and stuff, for you to just pull out. Like, and you've been known for this, you've been known to pull out. And I just feel like this is an absolute joke, you know what I mean? So I just feel it's a joke, man. You know.
I go back to the first press conference between you and Mikael Lawal, and obviously there was a lot of words exchanged between yourself, and you constantly said throughout that press conference, don't pull out. Did you have some sort of a feeling at that time that, hold on a second, there's a chance this guy will pull out, this fight will happen?
I saw his face, I see his energy, I saw his aura. He's not really the man he says he is. Like, I see through people like that. I've dealt with people like that a lot in my life. And the people that talk a lot and brag like they're the baddest or whatever, inside, you don't have no heart, you're not really about this. Like, if the people that are really about this, like me, like, for example, Chris William-Smith, he don't talk a lot, but you know he fights like hell. Do you know what I mean? So it makes me think, you're not really the man that you think you are. That's why maybe the fight was getting closer, the training is getting a bit harder for him, like, and he's thinking, do you know what? There's a chance I could lose here. Like, if there's a chance I could lose here, and, you know, my ego will be deflated and everything. But you know what? I don't really want to think too much into what he's thinking or whatever. I just got to focus on what I'm doing and how I react to this situation.
Well, on the positive side, you're still on the card, you still fight on Saturday night, so obviously, you know, there is a big positive right there. But in terms of the future, now that's a fight people do want to see, because obviously there's a lot of needle between you two guys. What can you tell us about what happens after Saturday night, pending on if you get the win? Are you confident that fight gets rescheduled at some point?
1,000,000%. If it will get rescheduled, and if he, if he pulls out again, he gets stripped. So I'll fight for the vacant British, and then he'll just be forgotten, because no one wants to waste their time with a guy that just keeps pulling out of fights, that doesn't want to fight real opposition. You know, I've never ducked nobody. I've never been like, no, I don't want to take no fight. I've said yes to everyone. WeFightAnyone.com, like, straight. You know, but this guy, he's a bit mad.
WeFightAnyone.com, I like that. Okay, talk to me about Saturday night. Has there been an opponent announced, and how are you feeling going into Saturday night?
Yeah, I feel great for Saturday. There has been an opponent announced. I think he's like 15 wins or 14 wins and 2 losses. Good opponent, and I just can't wait.
I mean, Bournemouth is kind of like becoming a second home for you. I mean, you were here last year with that fight against Chris William-Smith, which was obviously a fight of the year contender. You know, you're featuring a lot more on Sky Sports shows now. Are you happy with how things are progressing, and are you confident now that I mean, I don't know what the deal is with you in Sky Sports, but are you happy featuring on the shows, and is that something we're going to see on a regular basis going into the future, Isaac?
100%. You know, it's a blessing to be on Sky Sports and boxer shows. You get a lot of exposure, I get a lot of money, so it's all good. You know, it's all good. I'm very, very grateful for this opportunity. You know, and there are people that I've worked with before when I was with Matchroom. So the guys at Sky, they're amazing. You know, Ben Shalom, Mick Hennessy, my manager, does a tremendous job with me. John Wishhusen, amazing person. You know, I've known John for such a long time, so you know, he's helped me a lot.
I mean, looking at this weekend, I mean, as a boxing fan, a British boxing fan, there's so much to look forward to. You've got this show in Bournemouth, you've got Michael Conlan's fight over in Belfast, and of course you've got Lee Wood and Maurizio Lara too in Manchester. I mean, take away yourself being a fighter. As a fan, do you think it's disappointing that we've got 3 huge shows clashing in one night?
No. At least you get 3 shows.
Well, which one would you watch though? I mean, unless you've got one on your laptop, your TV.
Watch Isaac Chamberlain. That's the one I would watch, bro.
But as a fan though, I mean, honestly, it's difficult because on 3 platforms you've got 3 world title fights. Nobody misses a world title fight if you're a hardcore boxing fan. So would you look at that and think that is a negative and that's something we can't have happen in the future?
You get one on TV and one on your phone and one on your laptop.
How are you supposed to focus on 3 fights at once?
I don't know. You could just watch and be like, oh, look, there's something like that.
Isaac, 2 guys you know well that you shared the ring with are in the main event on Saturday night in the Vitality Stadium. Lawrence Cody, Chris Smith. You went the distance with both fighters, you know what they're both about. And another thing about this fight, which is really interesting, obviously both used to be trained by Shane McGuigan. Isaac, who's your money on for Saturday night?
It's hard to tell. It's very, very hard to tell. Obviously, Chris has the upper hand with the Bournemouth crowd and being trained by Shane, which is Lawrence's old trainer. And obviously Lawrence has a lot of physical attributes that he's going to use, and he could learn something different under Sugar Hill. So it's hard to say as well, especially because I fought both of them at different times in my career. So it's very, very difficult, you know, very difficult to say.
As I mentioned, you fought both Lawrence and Chris in the past, and I've heard you mention how Lawrence has a very awkward style. I mean, from your experience, what advice would you give to Chris Smith on how you deal with that awkward stance that you have?
Well, it's hard to even say that because my attributes are different to Chris's attributes. Do you know what I mean? So it will either go 2 ways. It will either go early, don't know who, it will either go early, or it will be a long night of, you know, lots of clinching, lots of rough work, lots of hugging, you know what I mean? So I think that's how it will go.
I have to get your thoughts on something. This is something I've always wanted to ask you. You have a lot of social media influencer boxers today, such as Jake Paul, Tommy Fury, KSI, all sort of lurking around the sort of light heavyweight, cruiserweight division. Now, I mean, a lot of people have an opinion about it, but one of the biggest things about social media boxing is they make a lot of money. I mean, I was covering the KSI Joe Fournier fight last week, and I heard a few figures. I'm not going to say it live on camera right now, but I think, is that something you'd look at, someone like a Jake Paul or maybe even a Nate Diaz? Because as I said, there's a lot of money involved, or are you sort of not on that sort of level?
I'm not going to lie, I don't think about it. I actually don't think about it. I think it's good because it brings a lot of normal fans into boxing fans. They want to see like real fights. Oh, bro, who's this guy? It brings a massive interest into boxing in general. So I think, but to be involved, like I don't know if the offer came up and like, hey, I'll be like, how did he get here? How did he just randomly want to fight me? Like, do you know?
But if there's a couple of $1 million on the line,
who wouldn't? The hell?
But as a lot of people are saying right now, they have KSI as the number 1 guy in that sort of platform of boxing. Obviously, the decision against Joe Fournier has been overruled. KSI, Tommy Fury, that's a fight being talked about in the future. I'm pretty sure you've watched their fights. What goes down in that fight? Who do you think wins that fight if it happens?
I kind of think KSI because he's a bit more wild. But then again, I think Jake Paul because he has that boxing ability. And I think KSI looks more like he's more hungrier, you know. He looks like he's more hungrier to finish and more aggressive. With Tommy Fury, I don't know. I think KSI lives their life a lot more and a lot better than Tommy Fury, you know. So I don't know. It's hard to say.
Isaac, I'm not going to keep you for too long. Just before you go, what can we expect from you on Saturday night? And a message to Mikael Lawal, if possible.
I'm going to win, man. I'm going to win with a great knockout. And Mikael Lawal, hope your tooth gets fixed and we can fight again. But I'm tired of this guy, bro. Honestly, I don't know, man. I don't even know what to say to this guy, bro. You know, get well soon, man.
Well, fingers crossed that fight gets rescheduled at some point. Isaac, thank you very much for your time. Pleasure as always, and best of luck for Saturday night. We hopefully get to speak to you after the fight.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate that.